Well, hello and welcome to another video. This video is about what I think is the most simple and quick to tie carp rig that you can do. If you saw my last video where I had those lovely 3 fish, I was talking about my new sort of favourite wafter rig presentation. This is it here. It's the clone rig, or the Amnesia D rig. It's been around for a long time. It's not something that I've invented, but I've just started using it the last sort of 4 or 5 months and doing really well on it and get some really good hook holds. And so far in the last 2 sessions I've had 2 30-pounders on it, so yeah, it really works. Very simple to tie as well. So I'm going to quickly talk you through the components and then I'm going to run you through how to tie it, and at the end I'll give you a couple of tweaks as well just to make sure it's working as well as it can. So firstly, what you're going to need is a length of Amnesia, or you could use fluorocarbon. Any sort of mono hook link really will do. I like the 20-pound Amnesia, sort of that semi-stiff so it kicks away from the lead. You want a size 4 or size 5 chod pattern of hook. You need that outturned eye so that it doesn't close the gape too much. If you've got an inturned eye, the hook can sit at a funny angle, so you need that outturned eye hook. You need a hook ring swivel and a blob of putty, and then a bait of your choice with a little bit of buoyancy, so like a snowman or a wafter or something like that. So firstly, you want to get a length of Amnesia, probably about 12 inches or so, and simply tie a 7-turn knotless knot to your chod hook. Then with the tag end, you want to put your hook ring swivel onto it, poke that back through the eye, and then blob it with a lighter. And then at the other end, you want to tie a figure of 8 loop knot, which you're going to use to attach to your quick link on your rig. Put a blob of putty round about in the middle, which just helps it sink down and lay flat on the bottom. And also it helps a little bit when hooking the fish because it drops it down in the fish's mouth. And then last, all you've got to do is thread on your chosen bait. In this case, I've got a Pure Bait Concepts SS1 white wafter. You can just use floss, blob it on the end. Sometimes I like to put maggots on top. It's up to you really. You could use a snowman, you could use a corked out balanced bait, a balanced tiger nut, something like that. And that's it really. Very simple. It takes less than a minute to tie up. Now stay tuned because I'm going to show you what it looks like on the bottom of the lake, and also at the end a couple of little edges that just help you get the most from this rig. So I said earlier I was going to give you a couple of tips just to get the best from this rig. One of those things is when you've made your D at the back of the hook, just make sure it's running in line with the shank. Sometimes when you tighten up your knotless knot, you can pull it around to the side because of the sort of the way the twists of the whipping sort of go around the hook. You can pull the D off to the side. So make sure you kind of straighten it up and make sure it's going in line with the shank. And then your bait will come off nicely off the back of the hook there. And finally, as I do with all my sort of stiff and semi-stiff rigs, I always steam them. It just gives it that extra bit of rigidity. Make sure it's nice and straight so that if a fish picks it up and gets away with it and drops it back down, it should kick away from the lead nicely, and make sure you've got perfect presentation every time. Now you could fish this in a number of ways. Sometimes you can just use a foam nugget so that it just settles off to the side on its own with no bait around it, and fish that over a scattering of boilie crumb and particle or whatever you want. Or you could use a little PVA bag with it, or a little stringer, or however you want to fish it really. Very versatile rig. You can fish it on any lead setup, over any bottom really, and it really works. I've got some really good hook holds with this. I've got a lot of confidence in this rig, so if you're looking for a simple, easy to tie and quick to tie rig that's really effective, give this one a go. I'm sure it'll catch you a few extra fish.